Amazing.
Yeah.
So let me bring in one of my oldest friends here. 1999, I think we both kind of starting our careers. I have
Mhm.
Darlene Toffry, DRT here. DRT, tell me, tell me where you're from, sister. You're from PA. Tell me about your
I
family.
I am. Oh, it's so good to see you, Daryl. I'm a Western Pennsylvania girl, born and raised about 2 hours outside of Pittsburgh. And then I went to school in Harrisburg for a little bit, and then transferred up to Bloomsburg University, where I got a bachelor's in medical imaging. And then I did a little stint downtown in Baltimore, where I met you.
Yeah,
And I've been there ever since. I graduated X-ray school in 1999, and then I
yeah,
started MRI school in 2003. So,
yeah.
but I'm pretty much a lifer down there. So,
Wow,
but
yeah, congratulations, man. That's a heck of a
yeah,
career, and I'm glad to see that you're still at it. When I met you, you are, still are one of the most fearless, happy, bubbly, most positive people, bringing energy any day of the week, any day or night. You're gonna bring it, and you're still doing it,
I
right?
am. Yeah, I am. I'm doing my best. I will say that it. A lot of us had faced some good burnout there in the medical field after 2020, but I still love what I do. I still love my job. I still love my coworkers. Some of us old lifers still down there doing the same thing, flipping protons every day.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that. But now, so yeah, you've had so much energy, and you dibbled and dabble in entrepreneurship. Is that
I
something your
did.
your family initiated in you? Is that something you just always had a passion for?
No, you know what? No, actually, my family, they were blue collar workers. My mom worked in a factory, my dad worked in a factory, my sister works in healthcare, my brother worked in a factory.
Yeah,
So no, not really. I was just raised with really good, intentions to just go out and do a good job, always make
yeah.
every day count, put your best foot forward, always help people. So I like to help people. That's like, one of my favorite things to do. So I love my job in healthcare, but it does, as you know, it comes with some setbacks with the recent pandemic, but I still love what I do. I'm still down in the emergency room. It is home sweet home for me with all those crazy crack addicts, but I don't
Oh
I don't
yeah,
care. I love it. I love helping people. I love taking care of people. So
you do. I have
that's
a
yeah.
motto I try to remind myself sometimes: never let them see you sweat. And I mean, any circumstance, you will never see DRT sweat. She will never let you know how her day is going. She's just one of those persons. Now, I followed you a little bit, and saw that you were doing the cookie thing, and I
I
said,
was.
let me
Yes.
check in with Dar, cooking with Dar. So tell me a little bit about that.
So back in 2020, it was a really tough year for everybody. The world basically shut down. And down there in the emergency room, we got handed with, us saying, management basically came to me and said, the ER scanner is going to be your designated COVID scanner. You're going to take care of all the COVID patients. They're all coming to you. So
Oh
I
boy.
said, well, okay. The reason being is that we were one of the most isolated scanners. So since they do general anesthesia on some of the other scanners in the hospital, and we don't downstairs in the ER, they felt like that would probably be the best opportunity for us to get the patients done. And in fact, I did one today. So we're still slinging COVID patients down there in the ER scanner. But because all that happened, working with the nurses down there in the emergency room and CT and everything, ER Nurses Week was rolling around in October of 2020. And we kind of been through the ringer. Everything was coming at us in different directions. And I really wanted to do something nice to give back to my nurses and just to say thank you, because they were a great support system for us and we were for them. So I have always had like a passion for baking. If I love you, I will feed you. uh, and I started baking from a very young age. My mom and sister love to bake, and so I get it from them. So started doing, I'd watch things on Instagram and think, oh, I could do that. So I started doing a little cutout cookies, and for ER Nurses Week, I made little scrub tops and medicine pills and little hearts with EKGs on them. And
Okay.
I took them around and I gave them to all the nurses in the ER with a thank you card, and they were so moved. They said I did more for them than management had done all year.
Oh
Um,
yeah. Oh
so,
yeah.
they were super appreciative. And then word got out like, oh, you do cookies. And I was like, well, no, not really. It was just a thank you. I just like to bake. And one of the nurses had asked me to make some cookies for her daughter's upcoming bridal shower. And I said, well, I don't know. And she said, please. She like kind of hounded me about it. And I said, all right, for you, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it.
Yeah.
I charged her 50 cents a cookie because I never made, I didn't own a
Yeah.
cookie business before. I didn't know what to charge. Clearly I was making $0 with that. But, and then word got out and another nurse asked me, and then another nurse asked me, and
Oh
then,
wow. I see.
my coworkers asked me, well, if you're doing it for them, can you do it for me? My kid has a birthday. And that's kind of how it started in 2020, at the end of 2020. I really
Oh,
started in the beginning of 2021, and
okay.
I took off with my little cookie business. So,
Okay.
yeah, and it was a good creative outlet, to be honest with you. It really allowed me to do something different and focus on something different and take my mind off of the daily in and out and the drudgery of caring for people. And like I really had, because when you work in healthcare, you have to leave it there. You can't
Yeah.
bring it home.
Absolutely.
You got to compartmentalize. So I really wanted a creative outlet, and this really allowed me to do that. So I had a lot of fun doing it. The cookie the cookie business, though, I will say, is very challenging. It takes a lot of time to do decorated custom decorated sugar cookies.
Okay.
It would take me all weekend, every weekend. I was booked 6 months out.
Oh my goodness.
And it was
Wow.
people, yeah. In fact, the hospital, the emergency room nurse ordered close to 500 cookies for a nurse's celebration in the ER. And I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? So
What am I doing?
my sister came down one weekend and we baked for close to 10 hours baking cookies. Just baking.
Uh,
That wasn't decorating.
10.
It took me weeks to get those decorated. And I had to freeze all the cookies because, it's not something you can do like, right off the
Okay.
bat and out the door. Royal icing is a royal pain.
Yeah.
So it takes a long time to dry. Like those cookies got to dry for a solid 24 hours. So
Oh,
it
oh, I
was
see.
yeah, it was a great learning process. And I loved what I did. I had a lot of orders for a good like 2.5 years. And
Yeah.
then my mom got diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in
Oh, sorry.
the it was literally the week the pandemic hit.
Oh my
So
goodness.
yeah, and then my husband got laid off. Abby left.
Oh my
So
goodness.
my coworker left that I like relied on for years. A family member passed away. It was like everything all in the same week. It was horrible. But anyways, my mom did great with her chemo treatments and stuff. So
Good.
throughout all that, it was a lot. But between working and slinging cookies on the side and taking care of my mom, it did get to be a bit much. So I
Yeah.
had to hang
Yeah.
up the cookie business back in the end, towards the end of 2022. She passed away in October of 2022. But
Oh, oh,
um yeah, it just got, I was traveling like 4 or 5 hours one direction to go and help and take time off of work and take care of her. So I
yeah.
did have to give up the cookie business, but I still bake cookies for my coworkers, just not the decorated sugar cookies.
Okay. All right.
Every
Good.
yeah, every month I do a little it's like one of my success factors, and I send out a little email about a foreign country. I send out recipes, interesting facts, and I bake a cookie from that country, and we eat our way around the world. Because I got to love on my people, and
Okay.
I'm baking for them. So that's my love language to
That's amazing. That's
you
amazing.
know.
Wow. Wow. What a story. I'm sorry to hear about your mom. I'm sure
Thank you.
she's
Yeah,
keeping an eye on you as you continue
I'm
baking
sure.
cookies for and loving on everybody like you always do. That's amazing, Dar. Sometimes, I mean, more than it's a business, you start out with the right intentions from your heart. God, the universe, whatever you say, they put you in a place to do something you enjoy doing.
Mhm.
And before you know, you have started a business. You have created something out of fun, out of love. So that's cool. I didn't even know. And I looked up, I saw a picture of you slinging cookies, like you say, and I'm like, what is going on here? And Dar is still working and doing full time. That's crazy. That's amazing. So what about what was the name of the the Darlene's cooking show? It was just making cookies with Darlene.
Yeah, it was a Sugar Kiss Cookie Company, Sugar
Yeah,
Kiss Cookie Company. Yeah, so I still have
yeah,
pictures on Instagram, and there's a lot of pictures I haven't even uploaded yet because you have to watermark your images. Believe it or not, people will steal images of your cookies. You're like, who would want to steal a picture of a cookie? But people will steal anything and claim that it's theirs.
yeah,
So you got to
yeah,
watermark all your images, and
yeah.
that kind of takes a little time, at least on my end, because I'm not super tech savvy. But yeah, so I still have some pictures to upload from 2022 and 2023. But yeah,
Wow,
that's
wow.
kind of where I left it. So I'm back to work. I'm still working full time. Never stopped. Still working full time. But
Yeah,
the
and
cooking business is just
you
on the
enjoyed
side.
the cookie, you enjoyed baking, and it's something you had a
Yeah,
passion to do. Okay, all right.
I
Now,
did, and I loved it.
for people that wanted to get started in something like what you're doing or did, or just in entrepreneurship in general, what give me some pitfalls besides like timing, like you were describing, but give me some pros and cons of MRI versus entrepreneurship, or what would you do differently looking back?
Okay, so for MRI, I mean it's a steady income. I mean you got your PTO, you're working for somebody else, which is kind of a downfall, but at the same time it is steady income and you don't have to worry about that. You get great coworkers usually. I was very lucky. I was blessed with wonderful coworkers. I love them all, even crazy Tony. Um, the pitfalls, you're basically under somebody else's thumb. So, and you
Yeah,
always will be, and then there's healthcare burnout. And
yeah,
it's a very, very real
it
situation with
is
healthcare burnout. Yeah. And I think a
for
lot of
sure,
people suffered from that and like took a different direction.
for sure.
Entrepreneurship is great because then you can work for yourself, but you really have to be self-motivated to get out there and peddle your wares or, whatever your side hustle is. You really have to get creative and be on the money, like on the mark to do it.
Yeah, yeah,
I loved slinging cookies for people. It was great. It was a great creative outlet, fantastic creative outlet.
yeah,
But it was a lot to take on working full time. So if you can do
yeah.
it on the side, like make it a full time thing, then that's wonderful. The one thing I did learn, and I will say a caveat, at least for the cookie business, is that you'll never make what you're worth.
Oh,
Um,
sure, sure. Okay,
After the cost of ingredients and packaging and time, I was literally only making a few dollars an
sure,
hour, and
sure, sure.
I was selling my cookies back in 2022, 2023 at $65 a dozen.
Okay.
And that still
Wow.
only left me with a few dollars, like an hour.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
yeah, because there's a the cost of ingredients is really really expensive, and then your time and your commitment. So I enjoyed it and I loved it. So you really have to love what you're doing. But if you can find an outlet and a passion that you like, and you can really make money on it, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I salute everybody that can do that. That's amazing.
Wow.
So
Okay. Yeah. Well, good. Well, thanks for the check-in, Dar. Cooking with Dar is our
yeah.
section today, everyone. We have the fantastic DRT bringing us into her world and her life. And again, let's encourage. Maybe Dar's doing it again in the future. But we're here for you, Dar. Anything you need, we can promote and support you. Thanks for coming in and giving us this great love that you give us, as you always do and always have. And maybe we should check in
Oh,
with you soon and take care of the family at
yeah.
Hopkins and take care of your immediate family. And thanks for coming in.
Oh, thank you, dear. I love seeing you. It's so good to see your beautiful face. I miss you.
We'll give a big hug from you and your family and to everyone there. I miss you guys too.
All right, honey. I love you. You take care of yourself.
You too. Thank you, Don. Love you too. Take
All
care.
right.
Bye
All
bye.
right. Bye bye.